Good morning, YouTubers. It's me, Virginia, and we are here having coffee with me. Monday morning. You know, this cup looks a lot bigger on the screen than it is in person. It's probably about maybe a 20-ounce cup. It's got whipped cream in there. I tell you, once I started making my own coffee this delicious, it's crazy to go to Starbucks, but there's a different flavor that they have with their syrup than the Torani syrup. But anyhow, let's get on with my topic of the day. And my topic of the day is two things. One is potlucks and support system. Can't think. I went on a retreat this past weekend, Friday and Saturday, and I had the foresight, thank goodness, to pack something that I knew I would enjoy eating for, what, dinner, breakfast, and lunch the next day. Every time you go to a potluck or go to someone's home to eat, it's just junk. And it's so sad. You know, I don't know if any of you have been watching that Jamie Oliver Food Revolution thing, you know, seeing what our children are eating and how we're poisoning them. And I truly believe we're poisoning them. And that's one of the key things that I've taught myself with this new Back to Basics is I'm training my brain and my eyes to look at stuff that I used to love, and I've totally convinced myself that it's poison. And why would we put that poison inside our bodies? And that's what we did. We basically have over and over and over put poison in our bodies. Before you know it, we're 250, 350, 500, 600 pounds. And if we don't change what's going on up here, we're not going to be able to change what's going on inside our bodies. And I've said that 100 times, and you'll hear me say it 100 more times. We have to work on what's going on up here. We got to the retreat, and we knew we were going to have this potluck dinner. And the main course, I believe, was someone brought a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay, I could deal with that. You know, I don't need to eat the skin. I could eat the chicken, and I was happy with that. Someone else brought a regular green salad. That was wonderful. Someone brought a tray of veggies. That was awesome. Shrimp. What we brought for that evening meal that all of us brought was wonderful. However, the minute we got in the van to leave, the first thing out of anyone's mouth was, I brought some brownies. Why? Why, as grown women, do we need these things? Why do we need brownies and cakes and cupcakes and all this other kind of stuff? It's not. We know that when we ingest sugar, we're going to have that crash, you know, that high and that crash. It's just the way our bodies work. We don't need it. You know, bringing a can of nuts, or, you know, there's just 100 things that you could bring that it doesn't need to be brownies. So, you know, it was easy to deal with that. Then we got there and we ate, and we were supposed to have a cheese and wine gathering, which we did, and I had a little glass of white wine, which was perfect. You know, it was enough to satisfy me, and they did have cheese and some meats there. But of course they had the pastries as well. So that was good. So the first day was good. Then we were going to wake up to a continental breakfast, and something told me you're going to be having what I brought. And I brought an antipasta salad, which I absolutely love. I put so much stuff in there, mixed a little bit of Italian dressing on it, and oh, it's to die for. So we got there in the morning, and they did have fruit, which was good, but I'm not ready to incorporate that many carbohydrates in my meals yet, in my day. And then the rest was pastries, cookies. On the table in front of us was a little can of or a bowl of Halloween candy. lollipops and Tootsie Rolls and whatnot. So then later on the day, I had my salad for breakfast, and then later on the day we had hoagie sandwiches, and there was more bun than there was anything on the inside. And then again, cookies and junk. It's sad that that's all we do, and that's how we serve. It's the easiest thing to do. I did it. You've done it. I just want to stop doing it. And now I know that the next gathering I go to, which I'm sure there'll be a lot now that I'm getting involved in church, I intend to pack my own meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just forego the whole pastries. And there was this one girl, and this will go on to the support part of my subject. There was this one lady in there that was just diagnosed with diabetes, and her doctor immediately put her on medication too, in the morning and at night. And she had to take herself off of one because she was getting such headaches, and she knew it was the medication. He never even suggested that she does a diet first. And that to me is sad, because the type 2 diabetes that we bring upon ourselves, we can get off of, we can correct, we can fix that with diet, exercise, and losing the weight. And it's our health. And, you know, I don't know if any one of you know what a horrible death the diabetics that don't take care of it, the non-compliant diabetics, I mean, they start losing toes and fingers and limbs. The diabetes is dangerous, and it's a slow, deadly thing. This woman was absolutely wonderful that she was talking to me about, well, how are you doing it? And her husband had a gastric bypass surgery 6 years ago, and he's gained it all back. He's learned to work around it. She told me that he still only can eat small amounts, but he eats nothing but carbohydrates. The rice and bread and pastas and you know, junk, Little Debbie's. She's trying to do what's right, but when she gets home, her husband cooks dinner, and this is what she's faced with. So unless you're ready to change your entire household, it's going to be so difficult. It's difficult for every member, even with my parents that are doing this diet and they're losing weight and they're doing really well. You know, a sibling will come over and take my dad out to dinner or lunch, and they're eating junk, pancakes, and it's just so sad that we all cannot get on the same page at the exact same time. And I don't know what it's going to take to turn America around, because they've estimated now two-thirds of America is overweight. We're killing ourselves. We're not going to be around for our children. We're not going to be around for our grandchildren if we don't straighten it out. And if we don't straighten out the entire household and the entire family and get everyone on board, we're going to be losing our children before we go. And that to me is terrifying.